It is so beyond illogical. Now, yeah, you might be able to say, oh, well, the first video, well, it's not really what happens, and, this is a very isolated case, and it was edited to make it look like this was happening. Well, look, folks, we got a fifth video coming out that was just released with a fifth Planned Parenthood doctor, and, in a different place, this is Planned Parenthood nationwide. And from what I understand, they've got another, 7 to 10 videos. They progress. Look, folks, these videos have been getting progressively worse in revealing what the evil that Planned Parenthood does. So if this trend continues, and these videos keep getting worse, I can't imagine what the next 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 videos could possibly show us that would be worse than what we've already seen. I thought it couldn't get any worse with the first video. Then the second video came out. And then the third. And now we got the fifth. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding. There is no way on God's green earth or in Satan's fiery hell that anybody should, other than the most staunch liberalist, should be supporting Planned Parenthood right now. I mean, have we lost our freaking minds? Well, yes, we have. That's a rhetorical question because the answer is yes, we have. And I don't look in order to. Well, I know a lot of people are saying, well, geez, Rod, if Planned Parenthood doesn't do it, somebody else will do it. Well, maybe, but they won't be doing it with government funds. I mean, this is just outrageous. This is beyond outrageous. I don't. It is so. And blacks, African Americans. And Latino. I'm sorry, folks, but if you're an African American that supports Planned Parenthood, you are supporting your own ethnic cleansing. Let me be clear. When you get to the point in some neighborhoods, in some cities, where you have more African-American babies being aborted than are being born, what do you call it other than ethnic cleansing? That's how you get rid of a population. You kill more of them than are being born. So at some point, you kill all of them. And they just die out. It's called extinction. We're all worried about Cecil the lion and all these, beautiful and ugly animals around the world that are near extinction or are going extinct, and nobody's worried about African Americans going extinct. I mean, it's to the point now where we're like, well, hey, Jews could go extinct if we go back to the old Nazi days and try to extinguish them, right? Oh, and you get a big yawn, ho hum. Iran wants to wipe Israel off the map. Ho-hum. A dentist from Minnesota, or wherever he's from, killed Cecil the lion. Oh, my God! Find him! Hang him! String him up! This is so evil! How can he possibly do that? Do you want your head to be a trophy? How would you like it if your head was a trophy? Ah! Liberals lose their mind. But you go and you show these videos, and it's like, oh, that's no big deal. Hell, you got some liberals out there saying, well, yeah, that's fine because we need to decrease the surplus population of the planet. Look, they're out there, those population or depopulation people. Van Jones was one of those people. He was, once one of Obama's czars. That's another thing. Whatever happened? How come we don't hear about Obama's czars anymore? They're still there, by the way. We don't hear about them anymore. All of a sudden, this second term, not a peep about Obama's czars. I don't even know how many he has now because nobody wants to talk about it anymore. We kind of all forgotten about it, didn't we? Well, hey, there you go. I haven't forgotten about it. So Obama's czars is still there. You kill and then you kill Cecil's brother, which, by the way, there are a couple of very credible news articles out there that say Jericho was not actually Cecil's brother. It doesn't really matter if he's if Jericho was actually Cecil's brother or not. It doesn't really matter. The whole point is that somebody, another poacher or illegal whatever, killed another lion, and the left erupts, losing their mind. Look, don't get me. I've already said. And, a lot of conservative Republicans feel the same way I do. You just don't hunt for pure sport. That's not right. That's wasteful. But at the same time, if you're going to be that upset about a freaking lion being murdered, then why are you not at least equally or more upset about human babies being murdered? Well, I can probably answer some of that for you because, some people out there, you don't even believe that you're a human being until you leave the hospital. Well, what if you're not born in a hospital? There are a lot of people out there that are not born in a hospital, even in this country still. Do you got to go to the hospital and then leave the hospital before you classify it as human? So all you people out there who were not born in a hospital and didn't go to the hospital after being born, I guess you're not human yet. Because the hospital is obviously where, you get your humanity. They inject you with humanity in the hospital, and then you get to leave, and you're human. My mind wants to explode over that kind of crap. It's unfathomable that we actually have human beings that hate human beings so much that they would say they'd spew this kind of drivel. I don't, well, it is, it is what it is. But here's some information on Cecil. The idiocy, the stupidity, the wastefulness over Cecil the lion. The Empire State Building. Most of you probably already know the Empire State Building. They did this outrageous display on one side, one of the faces of the Empire State Building, showing Cecil, pictures of Cecil and other endangered species. They spent $1 million. The Empire State Building spent $1 million on this display. Now, that is fine because it was private funds that were spent, and people can spend their money any damn way they please. I have no problem with it. I really don't. I think it's a wasteful way to spend your money. I think it's pretty stupid, and I think it's pretty ignorant. But, hey, go ahead and do it if you want. If you got the money, spend it. It doesn't bother me. And by the way, that $1 million, somebody, there are small businesses out there and stuff, and people got paid to do that. So, though the rich don't spend their money, well, obviously some rich people or corporation just spent $1 million on something that frivolous. So evidently they do spend their money. But they spent $1 million on this for this display. But you'll never guess where the backlash came from on this. I mean, I read the headline. It came across my newsfeed, and I read the headline, and I was saying, well, I'm thinking, this ain't real. But then I read the story. But here's the headline. This is from the Washington Times. And it's about Empire State Building's $1 million Cecil the Lion display outrages. You'll never guess who it outrages. It outrages another liberal group. It outrages Black Lives Matter supporters. Yes, that's right. The Empire State Building projection of Cecil the Lion and other endangered animals is being criticized for ignoring the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, along with Cecil, whose illegal killing sparked an international uproar, I'm sure double entendre intended there, a snow leopard, tigers, lemurs, and various snakes, birds, and sea creatures were projected on the building using 40 projectors. The light display cost $1 million and was intended to promote the Oceanic Preservation Society's documentary, Racing Extinction. Now, many social media users says the projection gave unfair attention to animals while ignoring the deaths of black people at the hands of police. Now, I can't make this stuff up, folks. But hey, there's no outrage for aborting black babies. Now, I suppose if doctors, if those performing the abortions were cops, then maybe, the liberal left would be outraged by it. I'm telling you, that is what is going to get the left's ire up for abortion, is if doctors stop doing it and cops start killing blacks and Latinos in the womb. Then you're going to hear, well, that's terrible. Hang all the cops then for killing all these babies. But one person wrote, I'm personally going to start wearing a lion costume when I leave my house, so if I get shot, people will care, says Roxana Gay. She tweeted that from her verified account, receiving nearly 9,500 retweets. So if a cop shoots a black person in a lion costume, oh, well, now the left is supposed to get out. I'm sorry. This is serious stuff, and I should not be laughing about it. But damned if this is not funny. You've got one liberal group upset with another liberal group because the one liberal group isn't getting any attention over the other liberal group, and the other liberal group is upset about animals, where and they're more upset about animals than they are certain people who they're trying to bring attention to. And because, you can't say all lives matter, because that would be racist. And that's just, that's off the charts. That raises everyone's ire on the left. But, if you say, well, I'm expecting, I should have, I swear I would make I'm going to do this. I am going to do this. I should have a store on my website. Kind of like Rush Limbaugh does with Gitmo. I'm going to have a store that just starts, just a t-shirt store that starts, with graphic designs with the sayings of liberals on them. So that, and twist them a little bit so they still say what the liberals wanted to say, but it pokes fun at them. So, and I'm sure you people would probably, okay, for Black Lives Matter, how about Lions Lives Matter? I could probably sell 1 million of those t-shirts. This is how silly this is, folks. I'm... Oh my goodness. I think, well, hey, that's my idea out there. I patent that idea. So anybody out there who's trying to do that before I do, you can't do it. You got to give me a royalty. I'll even just take a nickel on every shirt that you sell. You're still going to make me rich by giving me a nickel. I mean, you'll sell a ton if anybody out there wants to team up with me on this, I'm not being facetious about this. I'm being dead serious. This is a gold mine. We'll start out with Lions Lives Matter. Maybe, and then we'll follow up with maybe Black Panther Lives Matter. We'll have a picture of a Black Panther on there. A real Black Panther. Maybe a double picture. Black Panther of the animal and a Black Panther of the new Black Panther Party, the human thing. Black Panther. Maybe if they did that instead of, Black Lives Matter, maybe if they just said Black Panther Lives Matter, that they would be displayed on the Empire State Building as well. And it would cost an extra $1 million, I guess. But hey, to get the message across, wouldn't they?